So, Vombolt in this map is actually a really, really bad CEO. Why did you pick him?
Um, Last time we did a tier 1 match, it was a Sasha mirror, and I don't know. Sasha mirrors in general are kind of I'm
I
kind of
agree.
on, and then Sasha mirrors in particular, it's like, all right, you're basically you're playing a weird game of chicken with your power all the time, where it's like, who's gonna use the power first while both of us are building up to the super and maybe unleashing it, but nobody actually ever gets there or is able to make it work. It's just weird. I didn't like that matchup. And then what are the other tier 1 COs? Hawk for Sasha is fine, I guess. I
Yeah.
don't know though. Von Bolt, cool CO. I didn't think too hard about why he might be bad on this map.
So I will say why he's bad, and this is the smaller clip. You see the airport in the bottom?
Yes, I do.
When you know Ex Machina is coming, build a bomber and build a battlecopter. The Ex Machina will always hit the bottom part if you're smart. So Ex Machina is basically almost disabled. It will hurt a bit some of your unit for sure, but who cares? It's 2 unit out of let's say 25 or 26, so it's really bad. And I also say that because I won against Yvonne Bolt with Sonja in this map. I also won against Yvonne Bolt with Max in this map. So this is to tell you, like, yeah, it's not a good idea, Von Bolt in this map. This map is too big. Now, sometimes Von Bolt can work well in bigger maps, but the way the buildings are placed in this map, it doesn't work well. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this clip. I mean, what else can I add? Not that much. Now I will clip something else. So now the true replay starts. So
Indeed.
now I will give you a remote control as usual. Mouse. Can you move the
All
mouse?
right. Yes, I can.
All good. Let's do this. You are
All
in
right.
charge.
Excellent. So, yeah, obviously, no comm towers. Javier should be your go-to pick on this map. That was sarcasm.
The best seal. He is the best
Yeah.
seal. Pick my boy.
Oh, by the way, Sturm on this map better be banned because you could just,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, that's a little okay. Um,
You reach the other building at the other end in like 3 turn. Well, the other seal it takes then like 6 turn.
Whoa, you went for capturing the
So
airport first.
the first explanation, it only delays my base by 1 turn, and I will get extra money. And I'm Sasha, I want that extra money. And the other reason
True.
is I'm Sasha, I like air units. Now, it doesn't allow me to have air unit faster. Well, it allows me to have them 1 turn earlier because the airport is ready when I can use it. But as I said, it's mainly because of the extra money. I really want the extra money. That's the thing with Sasha. If you can capture a building and it only delays you for 1 turn a base, that's fine because during that turn you will gain extra money. Like 1.1k is a lot. And when you're Sasha, you really want some money. But if, like, if for example there's no building there, I will not go after that building, you know? Like, anyway, I cannot reach it, but you know what I mean. Like, for example, the base is not there, but here. If the base is there, I will not capture the building because this will delay me from 2 turns because I will need to cross the river. Now it only delays me for 1 turn. And I'm Sasha, so anyway, at some point I will fill my unit count anyway because she likes air units.
Okay, that's a reasonable defense. I think I can get behind that.
But even there, even if I was not Sasha, I think going for the airport first, having that extra money is very appreciated and underused. Now it's even better because it's Sasha, but I usually open this way in this map because more money. Now, is it the best opening? I don't think so, but is it the worst? I don't think so either. I think all depends with what you do with your money, and I think I use my money well, so I think it's fitting. And I also like to do different opening when I can, because it's boring. You always play that stuff. You're like, oh, I will cross the river and then I will get the base. Now I get the airport and then I get the base. That's cooler, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the spicy thing would be if you were faking me out this whole time and you actually moved this infantry onto this base next turn instead of finishing the capture. Then, you know, well played, sir.
Yeah.
Guess we'll find out for sure next turn, but I don't imagine that that's what you did. Okay. I think moving this infantry here instead of here prevents you from getting this airport sooner. However, I already have an airport. I know it's on the other side of the map, but I think
I will
probably
go further
both.
with this. There's a chain in the top part for you, and there's a chain in the bottom part. Now you will tell me, go in the forest, there's another chain, but here's the thing. These are a chain, yes, I agree with this, but the best chain you can have is these two. So I think your capture game right now will already suffer a bit, because you go there, and then I'm guessing you will go there, instead of like sending this there and then there. Usually I always start off by this, because here I got my chain. The second one usually goes there and then here, because there's a chain. And usually I send my third infantry there, or my fourth, depending. Now, having these two airports give you the choice of where you want to make a transport copter. And I'm telling you, in this map, your transport copter, if you're smart with it, it will always pay itself back by boosting bare minimum 3 infantry. And even there, if you're able to keep your transport alive, you can ferry your unit much faster. And that third base will become much more useful, because instead of taking forever to reach the battlefield because mountain and river, you will reach it faster. So I think this is the best map for transport copters. So having both airport really gives you more option to open up.
Yeah, if I could spoil what happened on my end a little bit, transport copters proved to be very useful.
Yeah.
For sure.
Now, we didn't really speak that much about the map, so let's pause a little bit. What do you think about this map?
It's pretty big. There are a lot of buildings. And I don't know, the fact that one of the bases can only really produce infantry is kind of it's a soft light base almost, but not really, because you kind of want to produce infantry anyway. 2 airports is pretty nice. Yeah, I don't really have anything very informative to say about this map. This is the only game I've had on it so far. There's nothing I hate about it. Nothing I particularly like above other maps, though.
So my take on this map, as I said, Von not an option because of that airport there. And the other thing, there's a lot of mountain, there's also a lot of forest, so artillery plays are really busted. I didn't make that much artillery because I'm Sasha and I'd rather spam copters, you know, but that pipe is retarded. It takes you forever to like reach the HQ, and these buildings, even if they are not really contested, because of these mountain, it's almost impossible to like protect them. So it's really easy to cheese the other player buildings. On one of my games, I was able to steal that building, and because of that choke point there, I was also able to control this building and this building. So I was Sanja and I basically stole that building, and I had control over the 2 buildings. and in the center they stood neutral because you see there are 4 contested buildings in this map, but because of the mountain here and the reach of that airport, only a bomber can reach that in one turn because it's 7 square away. So I control both sides. The center was neutral. I was able to steal that building. So even Sanjay, if she's able to cheese that kind of crap, she can beat like Vombolt, she can beat Grit, she can beat Javier. Now Hawk is different because Hawk is just ridiculous. It's a push button, global damage retard. So, like, I mean, I always say Hawk is tier 2 material, but global damage makes him so busted, and that's why, like, he is tier 1. It's because of global damage, because global damage dumb. Anyway, there's also a lot of forests, as you can see, and there's a lot of mountains. So I think if you take out these 2 mountains here, the map already improved because it's much harder to like protect that building. Because now if you control
it's less of a choke point.
Yeah, it's no more a choke point. Now it's a choke point. So you just sit somewhere there, and it's just almost impossible to like to kill that thing because of the mountain, and that if you have an artillery there, you just cover that building. You know, that map is not the worst. That's why I decided to play. And you like to play maps on the rotation. And in this current rotation, we already did Redemption World, we already did Stalingrad, we already did first step into Fog. So I think, we also did the Static. So in the maps remaining, we didn't do. We had Normandy, but I truly hate Normandy. Like, I want to stay away from that shit map. Then we had Frostleaf, and I already played twice in Frostleaf, and I'm like, not a fan of the map. It's not godly awful, but I already did it twice. And between this map and Frostleaf, it's really hard to say which one I prefer. I think I prefer this one because I don't know. I just like transport opening, and it's easier in this map than Frostleaf.
Okay, that's yeah, I think pointing out the contested properties and then the choke points was observant and definitely worth mentioning. It's a pretty good summary of the map, I would say. Alright, we can go to the next turn here. Let's see for sure what I did with this infantry. Wait, I captured. Okay, I did go for this building. That I think was a mistake. I should have gone for this one.
Yeah.
But not a huge deal. Okay, finally going for the base.
Now I did a mistake. I went there instead of there. So we almost did the same thing, but I went there.
Yeah.
So let's say because I went there, it's okay.
Yeah, we both canceled out each other's errors. Here I built a transport copter of my own. Comes a turn after you, but
No, because you're player 2. So that's the same turn.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah. In that case, I remember I was on a Discord call with you while these turns were going on, and you had like a maniacal laugh where you were like talking about. I asked how fast can you possibly get a transport copter here, or something along those lines. Like, is it ever worth it to capture this airport? I had suspected you had built one, so. And also, this building being here kind of tipped me off to be like, hey, maybe I should build my own transport copter.
That's good.
And that is exactly what I ended up doing. Now, do you love my conga line of 4 infantry all in a row here?
No.
Yeah.
Look the way I sent mine.
Yeah, that's definitely looking a lot better than what
They
I
are
have
much
here.
more spread out.
But, you know. And that was a good move, bringing you closer to a property that you wouldn't have otherwise been able to capture next turn.
And I can also boost next turn 1 infantry from the base.
Yes. Helicopter is paying itself back really fast.
Yeah.
I think I went into this transport copter with the wrong infantry. There. Hold on, let's go back to that.
Yeah, you should have sent the one by I think you used like this
one.
Yeah. I think you used the other one.
Yeah, I used the top one.
Yeah, you see, the other one should have went by the world, so next turn you get building.
Yeah, that would have made more sense. For sure. And also moving to the left with the transport copter. Hey, I get to this one faster, so I guess it, like, in a quantity sense makes sense, but getting to this location sooner would probably have been better for my overall capture game.
Yeah.
I think I ended up struggling to get properties in the middle.
Yeah. I think at some point I'm able to delay one of your caps there because you're too slow to cap your stuff.
Yes, I do recall that happening. So you're definitely correct. Alright, so far it's just infantry on the board, which, you know, is about what you would expect. Since we both went for transport openings.
So again, as you can see, I was able to boost my infantry, and now my transport is able to boost another one next turn.
Indeed. Yeah, I was just about to point that out. You ninja'd me. Building a copter, Sasha move right there.
Yeah. Unit count is cool.
Yeah, I know that because...
So this building much faster than than you are, for sure. I mean, this is a contested property and I'm already there.
Yeah.
You can see from the direction of infantry pointing a couple turns ago that this sort of is how things were going to end up playing out.
This is a very good play. Like, even if you did a mistake, I think at the end it paid off well because you were able to get a more contested building, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think this building ended up paying off pretty well. Although there was a little fighting over it, but let's not spoil it. Okay, building another copter. Alright, so I start capturing here. Finish that capture. We'll do a like a little take stock of everything at the end of this turn. Okay. Alright. So here we are. Our income is such that I believe you are one building behind me, technically. But you're about to capture more on your turn.
You got that extra infantry from player 2.
Wait, so, what do you mean?
Because you got that extra infantry, this means it's normal you have one extra building.
Gotcha, yes. So, I am one building ahead, but that is normal because I'm player 2.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you're saying, right? I got 2 tanks and 2 recon on the board, as well as the transport copter, and then the rest of my units are infantry. You have 2 battle copters and a transport copter. I don't know, 2 tanks and a recon and 2 recons versus 2 battle copters. The battle copters, I think, if they were to go head to head, win this fight every time.
Yeah. But you're vulnerable to Knife Sasha, so your
and
units
also
are just better. They won't die.
There might be some more units being introduced into the mix by the time these interact with each other, so we can't just put them together directly like that either. However, I think both of us made kind of sensible armies thus far. Another battlecopter. There we go. There's a recon. Finally, something that has wheels.
Now, I did a recon there because I want vision, and I expect some anti-air at some point, and I want to see them coming. And I have all of my stuff in the upper part of the map because this is my strong side, and usually I'd rather reinforce my weaker side to take people by surprise. But now, you're used to me, we played many times, so maybe you will expect that kind of stuff. So I'm like, I will play like a normal person, and I will just throw all my money in my strong side.
True. Yeah, a lot of players do that, and it works well. So, I don't know. Perhaps it'll pay off for you. I think maybe having a recon at least in the bottom might make sense. But I don't disagree with this either too much.
The recon in the bottom is good to give intel, but what will I do with that intel? I have no firepower in the bottom part so far, so
that's true.
It's a good option, but it's also bad. I think intel is more important in the upper part because this is where I will fight you the most so far right now.
Yeah, and also if the recon's on my strong side, I'll probably just roll over it, right? Like if I'm playing like other players do, focusing on the strong side. So, yeah. I think your top is definitely looking very scary, and I had to tread carefully around it. This was an audacious move. This is a contested property, and I think I had vision of it, but like, still, you probably could have had some reinforcements ready to pounce on me there. Capturing this first probably would have been a bit better.
Well, you took contested city, so right now I think I agree with most of your plays after the few mistakes in the early game capture. Right now, so far, getting the contested building is really good, and I think that gave you a really good edge because you're Vonbolt, and it will be really hard for me to just try to get them back because I'm Sasha, and Sasha cannot really beat Vonbolt. She can deny Ex Machina if she wants to, but Vonbolt doesn't need Ex Machina. He's just that good.
Yeah, it's definitely a hard matchup. Here I take advantage of a quirk of Advanced Wars by Web, and I unload 2 different infantry out of that transport copter. Okay, and I have a recon up here. I see 2 infantry come in, but not much else. So I have no idea that you have like 8 trillion battlecopters on this front. So, knowing me, I probably got suckered into extending a bit too far on this side. But we'll see if that actually is what ended up happening. I also haven't built any anti-air. I don't think I was consciously thinking about how Sasha likes building air units.
Yeah.
So that will explain that. I'm also, I don't know. I might have a psychological issue. I'm kind of like averse to building anti-air in general. I just never do it. I always forget to do it.
Yeah. And that's funny because last weekend, Advanced Warrior came back really strong on our weekly stream. And he destroyed me because of the amount of anti-air he built. Usually you don't make that many, and sometimes I have more chance on winning than last weekend. Last weekend he really rolled on me, but usually he's better than me in general. But I have more chance when he has less anti-air. And this weekend he fixed that. Many anti-air just clapped me. So anti-air, guys, anti-air.
I mean, they're a good unit. Like, they can take out infantry really easily. They can take out mechs real easily. In addition to battlecopters, they're not like one-trick ponies. They're better than tanks at taking out infantry. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, they have a bad matchup against opposing tanks, but if you're smart with them, they can really serve you well.
And they can also finish off like weaker recon and weaker tanks, even without firepower buff, like 3 HP, 3 HP tanks, 4 HP
Yeah.
recon. They can finish them off. So anti-air, really good. You need them.
Yeah, 3 HP tanks is a big deal. Actually, it keeps coming up where like I need a whole nother tank to take out a 3 HP tank when I would just rather have something else do it. If I had a anti-air there, well, that would be it. But infantry can't do it on their own, and a tank is like, yeah, I have a whole tank there. Like I had to invest, the usual tank amount of moving my army into position.
Yeah. So here,
I don't know.
I made battlecopter in the bottom because I know I lack firepower there, and I want something to maybe compete with that infantry and try to snatch away that building. Because I know if you keep that building, I will lose. Because I don't see myself getting that building right now. I'm lacking firepower, even if I got 3 copters. Like 1 anti-air and my army is down. So because of that, I'm like, okay, I will try my best to maybe take over that building there. Because I don't expect to get that building. You're von Bolt. Like maybe you have an infantry hiding there, just like me. I really don't know what's going on here. So that's why I built my first copter there. Because if I just keep building everything there, I won't be able to do anything in the bottom part. And
Okay, yeah, I could.
the reason why I did that thing there is in case we got that anti-air, I want something to like strike it down.
All right, yeah. So, since I see your battlecopter and I see it, it's about time to make sure if I build any anti-air, there's at least something that can contest them. So
Yeah.
I think that is very logical. Yeah. So, good building choices. Let's see how I respond to this. So I capture. Oh, I guess I don't do that other capture till later, but here I get trapped. I don't know what I was thinking moving that off that property.
And
honestly.
it's a road. I mean,
Yeah,
it's one of the worst places ever. Even if you're vulnerable, that's a road. So it's like right now you're on the plane. Plane are cool, but I mean, you prefer like the 3 stars from the city or 2 stars from the forest. And I say you're on the plane because you're vulnerable.
Yeah, and also you prefer having the ability to heal your unit if
Yeah.
it gets damaged, and kind of basically Von Bolt turns into a complete tank. You gotta commit stuff to defeating a unit that's sitting on a building, and I have control of the building, and that unit will keep healing, and it's like, wow, such a good move to keep the unit on the building instead of moving it forward into a very obvious trap. So yeah, that's bad move on my part, but definitely not unrecoverable. Here I go for this. You could have a tank down here, but I was kind of feeling like you didn't.
Because you see the copter in the top parts here, like everything is there.
Yeah. And oh my god,
That
revealing
did
my
hurt a lot. I was like, oh man, 2 of my infantry are already damaged. It was already looking bad for me, and it's normal. You're von Bolt. I mean, von Bolt. OP.
Yeah, the first strike is there's like an inherent first strike advantage in Advanced Wars. However, normal you don't actually want to initiate attacks in actual competitive games, because then you'll end up getting counter-attacked.
Yeah.
But if you can get away with it, which, I might, then it's pretty good it's a good idea to take initiative and get the first hit. Here I finally build a battlecopter, and I build an anti-air on the other side, like 3 turns too late, but it'll come eventually and have a bit of a presence. How on earth am I arranging these guys? I don't know. There was probably some logical thing I was thinking. Oh, this tank is now immune to damage, at
Yeah.
least direct damage. Maybe it was something involving that. I don't know. All right, let's see how you respond.
That's Vombolt, man. Vombolt. Oh my.
Oh, I survived. That's
Any
brutal.
other CEO would have died right on the spot.
You do take it out though, but it took all 3 of your battlecopters to take out one recon sitting in the woods. Pretty nuts.
Look at that. It's just OP, man. Defense, bro. Defense.
All right, so you start capturing this back, and I remember thinking at this time, like, all right, this is pretty far into his territory. I'm willing to retreat and lose this and not sacrifice anything to prevent the capture,
Yeah.
because maybe I can get it back eventually.
Yeah.
Um,
That's the smart thing to do because you're freaking Vombolt. You don't give a crap. You just want your unit to survive because at some point you will end up getting back the building you lost because Vombolt has, like, outside of tier 0, Vombolt has the best unit in the game because he has defense across the board and firepower across the board. Now I built battlecopter, tank, infantry because first of all I have the money. Second, I know I need more than just one copter in the bottom part, and on the top part I know I need more than one tank because I need more than one response to future anti-air. And I also know you got probably tanks around. So that's why 2 tank, 3 copter in the top part. I still want like my top part to have most of my firepower. Right now my top part has all of the firepower I need. And I also have the vision there. So I spend a bit of money in the bottom part because I know if I spend none, I will lose both fronts. Now most of my money is in the upper part, as I said, because it's my strong side.
Yep, that totally makes sense. And tanks and battlecopters both, but especially battlecopters, I find that they're a lot more effective in groups.
Yeah.
So, you know,
They are better in groups because in that case you don't really need that many anti-air because if he decides to attack your battlecopter with his, well, there are others that are just lurking the shadows.
Yeah, and also like 2 tanks can finish off an opposing tank that if it's sitting on like planes at least, or if it's Von Bolt and it's sitting on like a forest maybe. I'm not actually quite sure about that damage calculation, but
if you don't have a tower, it depends on your CO.
Yeah. And same thing, like it can the same sort of thing can be accomplished if you have a battlecopter and a tank working together. The tank or the battlecopter normally like will damage an opposing tank, and then your tank will finish it off. That's something that's been happening a lot in my games recently. It's been effective. So yeah, you definitely don't want one battlecopter off on its own or one tank off on its own.
Yeah.
They need to have you need to have an army together. It can't just be like one straggler out and about. Even if you're trying to focus on the other half of the map. Okay. Alright, this is a wild play I make here.
Oh my transport, man. Why my transport? Poor guy, he did nothing wrong. He just pushed infantry around. But that was actually a really good play. Now, so far, all you did was good. Right now, you really hurt me. My infantry is now damaged. And I think you will like force me to joining to make sure I get the building. And if I don't get that building, you're Von Bolt. I will never get it. So that's like my only shot on getting that building. So far, all you did was good. And so far, it's just a showcase on how strong Von Bolt is and how it doesn't really need Ex Machina. I think the main reason why Ex Machina is that weak, it's because they knew Von Bolt day-to-day was crazy. So they were like, Oh yeah, let's not give him a too OP super because turn was kind of broken. So
Yeah, I mean, if an Ex Machina hits, and it hits a good location, like it's devastating as well. But
it's easy
there's
to
counterplay around it.
yeah, and that's also why it all goes back to what I said earlier in the video. This map is really bad for Rumble because if you're on this side of this map, when you see it's like at this many star, like 7-star, 8-star, that's the moment where you make your bomber because you will have the money. Any seal will have the money at that point in the game. And then when he's at like 9-star, you move your bomber there and you make a battle copter so you're sure the Ex Machina will hit there. And then you will just have like a 9 HP bomber, but 9 HP bomber is still very strong. So if you're on this side of the map, you just do the same. You make battle copter and bomber, you're sure the Ex Machina will go there and not elsewhere.
Yep. It's a solid plan. Now, something that might come up is like, well, I just don't use the Ex Machina that turn and I wait till next turn.
Yeah.
But then it's like, okay, well, you have a full HP bomber now. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
But also, if you do that, you give me the option to maybe market crash if I want. So that's the risk
And
you're taking.
that is also true, yeah. That's only for Sasha, though. Other COs can do the bomber thing as well.
But here's the thing. If other CO, like, they don't see Ex Machina, they're like, okay, this will happen next turn. And the longer you hold your Ex Machina, the less star you will earn. Because here's the thing. When your meta is full, it's full. So even if it's kind of good sometime to hold it, it's not something I suggest because that's not Vomble's strongest suit. It's really his day-to-day. So I think, like, look, in some maps, it's fine to hold it because it's much more scary. But in this map, Ex Machina will not really flip the table. That's the truth. It won't really change the game.
Yeah. I don't think you can rely on Ex Machina to be a game changer. Your opponent kind of has to play to it a very convenient way.
Yeah.
For it to actually win you the game. Actually, I have a game that I think I end up winning, where the Ex Machina is pretty amazing, and I think my opponent forgot that I had it waiting. So maybe I'll do like a replay commentary on that game.
That's good. Cannot wait to see it, man.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. What I got a comment on one of my videos. I was like, "Hey, I just discovered your channel and I really like your videos. Keep it up." And it motivated me to record another video. I don't know. I enjoy when people compliment my work. It makes me feel like I'm actually doing something worthwhile. So
yeah.
That means if you're watching this, comment on all of my videos and make me feel good about myself. Stroke my ego. All right, guys. Wow, that infantry going down to 6 instead of 5, pretty wild. You don't see this battlecopter, so
I don't.
I will say this play was not that bad, but it's in a precarious place. Now it's being backed up by another copter, actually, so
Yeah.
forget what I just said. It's fine.
Now, at that
you're-
point, I overextended. That's my first biggest mistake of the game.
Yeah.
Don't do that. You're blind. You don't send your copter like that. I don't know what I was doing. I was like, it's freaking Vomble. What can I do against it? I'm like, oh, infantry on plane. Maybe I can damage it, you know?
Yeah, that was you have a recon just begging to get in there and get some intel.
Yeah.
You should have waited for that. And that's a very important detail, actually, is you should move. This is hard. This is like something that I didn't grasp too much as a beginner, but now I'm starting to sort of get it. You want to move your units in such a way that the vision that you get will better inform the units that are in more powerful spots. So like, if you have a tank that's like at the front of your army, move the back one first to like gather intel so that the front one can go all in if it has to.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And similarly here, like use this recon is meant for having low firepower but high vision specifically to be used for this purpose. So send that in first. If it dies, it's not a big deal versus
Well, you don't
a
want to
heavier
side them.
hitter.
You know why I didn't send my recon? The only spaces I could go is roads, and you don't want a recon on a road. Well, actually, that forest was a space, but here I was really scared. First of all, you had something there, and I don't want to get trapped. And the other reason, here it's your territory, so you will find that recon fast, and you will kill it. So I think leaving the recon there was the best play. I hope I do that. Otherwise I will look stupid, but by leaving that recon there, it's harder for you to spot it, and it's harder for you to kill it. And just look at the vision. Right now, I see a lot. That's really good vision. That's why leaving it there is a good option.
Okay, yeah, I get that rationale actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, so maybe sending in recons first. I mean, it seems good from a, hey, I get to better maneuver my heavier units perspective. But you're right, you need that vision to function as well. So
I think the best option, actually, looking back, because of that choke point, the recon should go there. I don't know if
that's
I
true.
do that. If I go there, it's actually really strong. It's one of the best position I can get into. I don't know if I thought about it when we were playing. We will see shortly, but yeah, that's actually a very good option there.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out.
It took
you start
2
capturing.
infantry, 1. Oh my, okay.
Ooh, recon on a road, which you just told me not to do.
Yeah,
Interesting.
and I just did it. Now, maybe my thought process was I want to make sure I get that building, but if that's the reason, that's a bad reason, because now I may lose a recon for a building. Yeah, that's awful. That's another huge mistake. Like, this turn murdered me. Sending the copter there, sending the recon there. Oh my, this turn is awful.
Yeah, very questionable decisions all around.
So here I'm like, I will drain a bit of your money because I'm Sasha, and I know I will have a bit more money than you. And that was true. I had a bit more money than you. So by draining your funds, I give you less option. But here's the thing, now I find out about your anti-air. I'm sad at that point. I'm like, oh no. Poor copter.
It's funny that the last copter you send in is the one that happens to line up with where the anti-air is.
Yeah.
Gets vision of it. Very devastating. Yeah, but I think there's a tendency. I have this too. When I send one unit in too deep, I want to just send all my units in too deep, in for a penny, in for a pound. And I think that probably is not the correct choice. I don't think this game works like that, where you need to justify your mistakes by making more, like going all in on a play. I think you can kind of pull back, save the units that you can if you're worried you just overextended. Like, there are times when I will be playing a game and I will be like, okay, I just sent my tank in to attack my opponent's tank, and it turns out they have a bunch of backup that I just now got vision of. I recognize that I just overextended, but yeah, I will send the rest of my tanks in as well to like try to salvage the situation, and it's not worth it. Just sack the one tank and retreat with everything else.
Yeah,
is probably better, but psychologically, it's a interesting thing to toy with. You don't really want to do that. Alright, so you build anti-air, tank, copter, and obviously infantry.
First of
Man.
all, the main reason is I got money. Second, on that side, I know I have less copters, so that anti-air is to maybe shut down your copters. And I also see two tanks, so maybe instead of having that copter there, I should have a third copter there. But I think my thought process was I will lose one of my 3 copter there. That's why I built that fourth one there. I really don't know what I was thinking. Like, both plays are actually fine, and these 3 tanks are overlapping each other. So I think my lineup of tanks is actually fine. But seeing your 2 tank, I should have made my battle copter there instead of here. Even if I only have 2 copter there, you have your anti-air already in this area. I think that wasn't the best play on my part. So yeah.
Yeah, potentially. I guess. Were you still thinking about your plan to go all in on the on your strong side at this time?
At this time, I was like, I don't have enough stuff in the bottom part. I have
fair
a
enough.
lot of good stuff up there, but I have nothing down here.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see what happens next turn. Let's see if it's as devastating as you seem to think it will end up being.
You see, these hits, man, that infantry dying, it looks like nothing, but it's unit count. It's really bad.
That one dying too is brutal because that's vision also you're losing.
Yeah.
Now I kind of have a lot of stuff in the middle that you can't see at the moment.
Yeah.
You are very close to capturing this, but
Yeah.
like maybe I can prevent you from doing so. Oh, that's brutal that it didn't. Oh, that's even worse.
Sad emojis right now.
Yeah, can we get some what do you call that emoji with like the sad face and the wrinkled eyes at the top? I forget what that emoji's called, but that's like the emoji I'm feeling after that.
Ah, that
Yeah,
was
that's
strong. That's Von Bolt
that's
for you. That's
potentially
Von Bolt
you
for
can
you.
survive that, I
Yeah.
think, against most COs, but not Von Bolt, and probably not Hawk either.
Yeah.
This is a brave capture, frankly.
But you're Von Bolt, so you don't give a crap. Because now you got 4
True.
stars of defense because you're Von Bolt. So this showcase Von Bolt day to day. Like, wow. I will not able to stop that cap.
And by the way, I see this second battlecopter, so I'm like, time to build an anti-air. And I also built a copter down here. And I built an infantry up here because I'm kind of lacking infantry. I have this one on 10
Yeah.
HP and the other 2 are on 4 HP, and you have a whole wave of them coming. So I'm like, at this point, I'm starting to think of a scheme I can possibly maybe devise to get more infantry up there.
Yeah.
And building them is the most obvious solution, but eventually I had to build non-infantry units from this base, so I kind of had to grapple with that. Here you capture the contested property that you set up nice capture of.
Yeah.
Join cap, that was pretty good because now I had to get you dead on that tile.
And I will go further. As I said earlier, if I don't get that building now, I will never get it. And as many building as I can get, I will get it because I need it. I'm Sasha. The moment you have more building than me or equal building than me, I lost. I need more money than you. That's my only chance.
Yeah, that's your advantage as
Yeah.
Sasha. Makes sense. Here, what I was talking about earlier with the battlecopter and the tank tag teaming the opposing tank literally
Yeah.
happens, illustrating my point. So thank you for that. Here, recon interrupts the capture.
So I placed that battlecopter to scout the forest because I want to see what you have up your sleeve. That's the reason.
Wait, which one? The one that just...
Yeah, the last move.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, if I had some sneaky stuff over there.
Now, my
that
other
would,
mistake, I see your anti-air, I stay there because I'm stubborn. Don't be stubborn.
Yeah,
Don't be like
I
me.
was about to say, just retreat these. Like, why
Yeah.
are you attacking this tank on a city as I'm Von Bolt?
Yeah.
You know you can't get away with that.
Look at that. I get to shoot you first, and I lose the engagement. And you're surviving with 3 HP.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
That's Wombo for you. Like, for anybody that's like, oh, you're Sasha, you won't let me get my XP Kina. I'm like, dude, you don't need it. You don't need it.
Mhm. Anti-air coming in hot. Another anti-air coming in hot up top as well. See, you don't see any air units on my side, so that's a very prophylactic.
I don't take any
anti-air.
chance. Don't wait to see
Yeah,
them. If you waited
exactly.
to see them, you waited too long.
And that's what I mentioned earlier. Like, just build anti-air. There's no reason really not to. Like, yeah, they're kind of like 1,000 more expensive than a tank. Ooh, they can wipe infantry off the face of the earth very easily. They're very good for that reason, as well as giving you some insurance against battlecopters. I'm gonna start building more of them, and I'm gonna start winning games that way. And I'm gonna be the #1 champion of anti-air building very soon here. All right.
So
I'm
here,
convincing
this
myself.
will be the turn you win. I say that because I remember that turn, and I sticked around because I was like, maybe my Warbond will do something. So let's see this turn how it goes.
Yeah, this is brutal because you kind of spread your units all out in my territory,
Yeah.
and it's like, you know, if I have the resources to stop this, it makes it easier for me. When they're kind of crowded together, I have to like order my attack carefully, and I have to, you know, make sure I tactically do everything right. Let's see what happens here. So that battlecopter gets eviscerated. This battlecopter goes almost all the way down. Not quite, though. That's a good attack. That finishes off that tank. Wild move. Don't know why I did that. I think I was trying to take out this infantry, actually.
But that's still very good because then with your other infantry you can kill it. Your Wombo.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, this was a good move. I changed my mind. I was thinking I should go down and kill this battlecopter instead.
Not really. 1 HP
that's not as good.
battlecopter, the only thing it can do is scout.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to kill. Anything can kill it.
9 HP battlecopter attacking it. Wait, was that a 9 HP? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So now both your battlecopters are too low of HP for me to be worrying about. Finally, I start to actually, you know, have stuff in the middle to help this capture out.
Ooh.
Blow that guy up.
Oof.
Blow that guy up. Bam. Yeah, that guy dies, but that's okay.
You're vulnerable. You don't give a crap about
Yeah.
your troop. Just force them to die for your country, you know?
Exactly. And now, yes, I allowed you to capture this property.
You cannot
but at
stop
what
it
cost?
anymore because it's
At
1
what-
HP.
Yeah, and at what cost to you did this property come? What do you have on the bottom of the map?
Nothing.
Nothing, exactly. So, here's your one building in compensation for your entire army. Getting
Got
trapped
trapped.
there, that feels bad, even though this turn was pretty good for me. That part kind of stings. Here I build 2 battlecopters, a tank, and 2 infantry.
Yeah, that turn
That's
you
pretty
won.
nuts.
So
Yeah.
we will skip my next turn because I don't think I do Warbond right now.
Yeah, I don't think you do.
Yeah, I don't. because I didn't do
Alright.
it because I would not be able to have good value in it. I bought Bomber because I see your meta filled, and I can see Ex Machina incoming soon. I do that because I want to kill your infantry. I don't want you to get any more economy, because at that point I'm like, I will out economy you if I play smart. Now looking back, I dedicated too many units on top and not enough in bottom, and in bottom I dedicated most of what I had, which is not that much, for one building. So I did many mistakes that cost me the game in that really hard matchup. So now we can already move forward with your next turn.
Yeah. I just want to say, earlier you said all a 1 HP battlecopter can do is scout, but it did take out a 1 HP infantry. So,
damage.
you know, just correcting the record. But alright, we'll skim through this. Artillery, finally coming. This is the first artillery. You do build a bomber here.
To attract your Ex Machina.
Yep.
Now your counterattack is really hard. Oh my.
I take that out.
And you get the building back.
Yeah, get the building back. Shuffle around a little. Heal stuff up. Bring higher infantry to the front lines. It's pretty good movement. Yeah, bringing everything up. Okay. Fantastic. So it's looking
Really bad for me.
Yeah, you just look at the unit count, and that's all you really need to see to get a stock of the situation. But maybe this war bonds will. Oh wait, you use your power.
That turn. Oh,
Okay,
it's that turn. Okay, I will
Alright.
already say it's wrong, because to have a good war bond, you need at least 10k war damage. Because if you have 10k war damage, you took away 20k war damage from your opponent. So, because of that, right now I cannot get 10k. I see that maybe I get 300 at best. Maybe I get 3.5k. So this is roughly 4k so far. With this, I may deal 4 damage, so let's say 6.5k. And with this copter, so far I don't see this, so I don't know. But let's say I deal damage there, it may be rising up to 8k, maybe 9 if I'm lucky. So it's not 10k yet. And why 10k? Well, if you took away 10k, if you get 10k, I should say, this means you took away 20. So this war bond was weak, because at best maybe it's 10k, but if I roll everywhere, you know, if I low roll maybe 8 or 9k, it's not enough. And I'm already only losing position, unit count wise, so I should have waited longer for my war bonds.
Yeah, so
let's see, it's 28k point 300. Let's set the end of my turn. Rewind action. Oh, that's the full turn, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it rewinds the entire turn. You kind of had to manually skip through.
So, boom. We'll go forward. I got... Oh, I actually got 11. So that was actually somewhat decent warbond. But yeah, it's not the best ever, because it's only 11k and you're vulnerable. Your counterattack will be really hard. So looking back, I got roughly 11k. So that was actually a somewhat decent warbond. Not the best, because as I said, you're vulnerable and your counterattack will be really hard. And now you get your Ex Machina.
Yeah, and do you know what a win more strategy is by any chance?
A what?
a win more strategy.
No clue.
So basically, like, this comes up a lot in card games. There are cards that like look really powerful, but like in order to use them well, you kind of already need to be in a winning position. So they're not really that valuable. It's the cards that get you to that winning position that are actually good. I think War Bonds is kind of like a win more power, and maybe I just don't view this the correct way. But the way I see it, it's kind of like you need to do a bunch of damage to the enemy in order for the war bonds to be good. But if you can do a bunch of damage to the enemy and get away with it, then you're already in a better position than them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's like a interesting juxtaposition there. And let's see.
Your counter-attack is really hard. Now your Ex Machina went at the place I wanted it to be. Now, of course,
Indeed.
my bomber is disabled, but I don't really mind because that was the point of the bomber. Because if, let's say, it strikes here, it will cripple me. Because then you will just kill tank, anti-air. Right now, these two, they will not die. They will just be froze for a turn. And let's say it's here, same thing. You can kill this. So control the Ex Machina. That's the secret of it. If you don't, well, you will regret. That's the way it is.
Yeah. I wasn't relying on this Ex Machina to do super well at this point.
You were
kind
already
of,
winning at that point.
Yeah,
I just
and
kept going to beat a dead horse, as we say. Oof.
Yeah, I could kind of already tell. Once I was able to get my tank to here and then not have it be counterattacked, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm winning on the bottom at least.
Yeah.
The top maybe could go either way, but I don't feel like I'm losing there either
Yeah.
at the moment. Yeah, that's just like a stock of where I was psychologically as a player right now.
Ah, that was hard, man. That was hard. Vombolt, man.
Yeah,
you don't
Von
need
Bolt,
Ex Machina. You're good overall.
pretty devastating.
And just getting that building in the bottom really hurt my economy a lot because I'm Sasha and I need that economy.
Yeah, that's true. And actually, you're ahead of me on economy right now because I have yet to capture this property,
Yeah.
which I guess is contested, so that could go either way. But I also have yet to capture this property.
Yeah.
I'm like technically not ahead of you economically, but it kind of feels like I am because I have two properties that are contested, and I feel like eventually I will capture
Yeah.
one more, and these ones that are neutral right now, like I should have this, so I'm in a better position even though I haven't even captured the buildings yet technically. My army is keeping up with yours even still.
So now I heard a lot of Discord stuff. It's probably my other collab for tonight. So let's move further until the next Warbond because right now it's just me keep going for content's sake.
Okay, sure.
So
Yeah.
you see the Ex Machina went where I wanted. So it could be worse. So let's keep moving, except if you want to stop on something. So oh yeah, I built a bomber there. Now I
Yeah, I
saw lots
saw
of
that.
tank. And that anti-air, I'm like, okay, that bomber will get value, but she also
I
gets
built my
value.
own bomber.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay, this bomber will be crazy. So, anything else to add about this turn before we move further?
Nothing in particular, no. Yeah, I actually don't think the bomber like does anything crazy, but like just having it is a big
That
threat.
building,
Wait,
bro.
what were you pointing out?
That
Oh yeah, this
building.
one.
When I'm about to lose it, I realize I lost for real. Like, I knew I lost before, but I'm like, okay, if he gets it, like, I resign.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't
I
even
resign.
have this. I don't even have this one that's supposed to be mine, and I'm just capturing yours already. It's kind of wild.
And this
How
all
hard
goes
I
back to the
focused.
intro. This all goes back to the intro. It's really easy to cheese that building.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you did mention exactly that, and this is what happened. Although, in theory, it's supposed to be easy to get this building, and I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
So, But you know, one thing at a time. You do end up preventing the capture, but you move in everything you have left on the bottom. So you would need to do a front switch if you wanted to not just completely crumble at the bottom at this point, and I don't think if you front switch, then you crumble at the top now with
is
the way
for
things
vision because I got that bomber there, and I got
Oh,
lots
yes.
of firepower down here, so I need vision. Double copter because unit count. Let's keep going.
Let's keep going, indeed. Okay, so here I continue the capture.
That
And I don't
freaking
think
infantry.
I think this infantry is brutal. You can't fire on it with your own infantry because this one's blocking it. So the only thing you could do is use your bomber, and I think that's in range of my anti-airs. Or you can use your own anti-air, but then I have tanks.
Yeah.
Or at least one tank that can counterattack yours. Okay, so actually, I'm kind of dropping stuff here. I am ahead for sure, but you know, if I do play sloppy, I could still crumble here. That's a pretty good shot,
Yeah.
and this artillery is audacious. Frankly, you see it with your. Oh wait, that's my tank. Whoops. Yeah, we'll go fast through it. Again,
That
I
was
make
another
this.
good turn for you. That really hurt me a lot here.
I made the lead at the top really convincing. I made the lead at the bottom even more convincing. It's definitely not looking good. And here, your bomber's down to 6 HP, which sucks. It's still usable, but it's not like the end-all be-all it once was. I built a fighter because at this point, I'm like, the only way I could lose at this point is if you made a stealth, and I just don't see it. Or something like that.
Fuck stealth, I hate them.
Yeah, I know you hate them, but like, if you wanted to build one as a last resort, it might end up screwing with me. So, need to make sure that doesn't happen. Need to make sure I have something that can hit it.
So I didn't use my warbond because I didn't see any value to it.
Uh-huh.
I took
Which
build
is
engagement.
good choice, but you so aren't putting meter this whole turn at the same time. Next turn. Oh, I broke it. Whoops. Okay.
Unit just vanished.
Yeah. The unit count right now is not looking too great. Oh, by the way, this transport copter almost ran out of fuel. It has 4 fuel left. I did manage to get into the airport on time, though. Yeah, I wanted to keep getting value out of it. I did not want it to die. Okay. And I start capturing this because I'm like, all right, at this point, like, if you're spending units preventing this capture, then, like, everything else is just gonna roll you. And I have a fighter specifically protecting this infantry from air units. So even if you made it a copter here, like, here comes the sun. Okay. Oh, here you activate the war bond. Wait, did you not activate the war bonds?
I activated at the start of my turn, but that's the replay glitching.
Okay, I see. Yeah, you this kill death ratio is pretty. It tells the whole story, honestly.
That's a typical of Vombold versus Sasha.
Yeah. So what did we learn? One, this matchup seems lopsided. I would have to collect more data to say for sure, but as of right now, like Von Bolt's day-to-day versus Sasha's, like Sasha has to kind of overwhelm Von Bolt early on, and that's hard to do.
The longer it gets, the worse it is for Sasha, and this is against any CO, but that's even worse against Von Bolt because Von Bolt doesn't give a crap about anything.
Yeah, and you know, you kind of put all of your eggs into one basket at the bottom. You had to sack everything you had at the bottom in order to prevent me from capturing this contested property in
Yeah.
order for me to not get ahead. Because if I get ahead, you lose. But then, because you invested so much, you lost. So you kind of were in like an impossible situation there.
Yeah.
And at the top, I think you did blunder at the top. You could have probably played a bit better with your battlecopters at the beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah, even if you did end up winning stuff here, it still would have been tough for you, I think.
Yeah.
To play it out. It might have gone for longer before things got convincing, but this was a bit of a steamroll, I gotta say. I'm not used to playing that well against you, to be honest.
Yeah. You're right. That's true. So, anything else to add before we end this?
Nope. I'm all good. I gotta just get to bed after this, probably get up early for work.
Feel you, man. I feel you. So I hope you guys enjoyed. You will find Jakester channel in the description below. So like, comment, and subscribe. Go take a look to Jakester channel, and I wish you all a great day. Take care.